Today, we're going to bake a delicious homemade meatloaf. We'll talk about what to do so it doesn't crack and which meat makes the best meatloaf. Hi, I'm Kubisek, and let's get straight to the cooking. Everything revolves around the meat, so it's not worth skimping on quality. The absolute best meatloaf is made from pork belly, the lean kind, or pork shoulder. However, I couldn't find those today. I also didn't want to pull out the grinder to grind the meat myself, so I settled for what I have here. It's a mix of ground beef and pork, though the exact ratio is unknown. Just be careful not to use too much beef, otherwise, the meatloaf will be quite dry. For this recipe, we are using about 2 pounds of meat. Alright, we've got the meat. Now, add about half a cup of breadcrumbs and 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard. Next, salt. I don't salt things heavily, so I only use half a teaspoon. But feel free to use a full rounded teaspoon. You won't ruin it. A bit of black pepper. Again, you can be a little more generous because pepper goes great with meat and isn't as overpowering as it is with vegetables. Now, it's time for the onions. 2 small onions will be enough. Onions are sweet, and if you use too much, the final meatloaf will be sweet too, which would mean adding even more salt. That's why I don't use a ton. Peel the onions and dice them finely. As for the garlic, don't use too much either. If you overdo it, the flavor develops too much as it sits and can make the meatloaf taste dull. 3 cloves are plenty. Press the garlic into the mix. For 2 pounds of meat, add 3 eggs and some marjoram. You can easily use twice as much marjoram. It's perfectly fine and won't ruin anything. Finally, add about half a cup of milk and mix it thoroughly. I usually start with a wooden spoon and then finish kneading it by hand. Don't be afraid of the mixing process. You need to work it for at least 2 to 5 minutes. Really do it thoroughly. 5 minutes might be a lot. 2 minutes of honest kneading should do. You'll know the mixture is ready when it holds together perfectly and forms a nice loaf on the cutting board. Now, here are 2 things you must do to prevent the meatloaf from cracking. First, you need to get the air out of the meat. You do this by slapping, pounding, and shaping it. I don't even know what to call it exactly. Just watch me. I won't speed up or cut the video here, so just do exactly what I do. I split the mixture in 2 because we're making 2 smaller loaves so they bake faster. The second thing to do to prevent cracking is to rub them with water and smooth them out with your hands. Make sure there are no lumps, holes, or air bubbles on the surface. Now that both loaves are perfectly smooth, let's prep the pan. Grease the bottom of the baking pan with a little oil. Carefully transfer both loaves to the pan and smooth them over one last time just to be safe. Put the meatloaf into a preheated oven. It should be at about 350 degrees Fahrenheit to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, depending on how your oven bakes. Add about half a cup of water, cover with a lid, and bake for about an hour. While it's covered, you don't even need to check on it. Great! It already looks wonderful! Now we need to get that perfect crust. It's very simple. Remove the lid, add a little more water if needed, and baste both loaves with the pan juices. Put it back in the oven, this time without the lid. But be careful. Since the lid is off, the juices will evaporate quickly. This means you need to check the meatloaf roughly every 5 minutes. If the juices evaporate, add more water, baste the meatloaf, and keep baking. After about 20 minutes, you'll have a perfect crust. What else is there to say? You can serve it with mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, or even potato salad, or just have it on a slice of bread. Meatloaf is just like shvishkova or potato salad. It's actually best the next day after the flavors have melded. I recommend taking it out of the oven, letting it cool, and keeping it in the fridge for a day or two. It'll be excellent. Well, that's all for today. If you liked the video, give me a like and check out my other cooking videos.